What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the second ever 44 High podcast. We have a special guest in the building, Marcus Stripling. What's good, bro? How are you?
How y'all doing today, man? Doing good.
Yeah, feeling blessed?
Feeling blessed. Excited to be in the H.
Yeah. So this man, had to catch him here in the H while he was here. Thank you for coming out. First and foremost, just want to give you the thanks for, making the time to come out here out of your busy schedule. I know you're trying to enjoy your time out here in Houston, so, really appreciate you for coming out.
Man, no problem, man. I appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah, for sure. And so kind of getting things going, bro. What is life looking like for you right now?
About to graduate college in about 6 months, so deciding on going to the NFL or playing one more year in college. So it's just a big decision right now.
Yeah, and you have that eligibility to play one more year?
Yeah, I got eligible to play like 2 more years if I need to in college. So it's just like, what's the right decision? What's the best decision?
What do you think is gonna, kind of decide that for you?
Just what teams looking at me, man. If I could be, what kind of teams I can go to and what kind of money they paying, what kind of player they need, like fit my needs. So it's just a puzzle piecing job.
Yeah,
I gotta fit the piece. So really
sure.
waiting on that.
Yeah. Now, coming off the school that we all went to, Maid Creek, what would you say is the driving factor that kind of took you to that next level? Because it's not easy. A lot of people look up to you and say, oh, that's Marcus Stripling right there. That's Strip. He's playing D1, Oklahoma Sooner. What did you say was the biggest element that took you to that next level?
I wouldn't even say like no physical attributes or nothing like that. It was just all in my mental. So like all in my head, all in my brain. What I thought I was, that's how I made myself into. So, like, nobody could really tell me what I was. I already knew what I was, and I was going to be that. So I kind of went to Maid Creek in the mindset, like, nobody might not do it, but I'm going to show them the way to do it. So I just always had a good mindset, man. I was always on, like, early grind. Like, I was always on, like, getting paid before the sun come up. So, like, that's just my type of work style. So, like,
Yeah.
just kind of grew as I got older.
Did you ever feel a sense of pressure with all these, cameras around you, number or top prospect in the U.S., not just in Texas, but in the U.S.? Did you ever feel a sense of pressure where you're like, man, I can't handle it? Or was it, I'm resilient, I'm able to handle this?
Man, everybody going to feel pressure. I can't tell y'all, like, I really had pressure, like I'm handling it. Like, nah, I went through pressure I can't handle before because most definitely, like, they had a lot of pressure in my life that really formed me. Some of the pressure really made me who I am today. So a lot of the pressure I went through was good pressure. I wouldn't say none of it was bad, and I wouldn't take none of it back.
And speaking on that, early stuff that made you, what would you say kind of helped shape who you are in the early life?
Definitely, like, just being around here at Maid Creek, man, just the whole culture around here, and then just leaving Maid Creek and playing football in Houston and seeing the culture in Houston and being from New Orleans, coming from Hurricane Katrina. So it's just like I was here already, like, on a meal ticket. That's how I looked at it. I was already here on, like, a ticket to get paid. So, like, being here to Houston was a way more opportunity than New Orleans. So I took it and ran with it.
Yeah. And obviously being a college athlete now, I was fortunate enough to, be able to go out and go to Kansas for 2 years as well, play a bit of college soccer there. But being a student athlete and, paving the way there, what were who were the people that most influenced you on the way to, the big game?
Man, I just most rely on my parents and the people that's always been there. I always have a couple teammates and coaches that always influence me, but it's like I already have my mind made up and my mindset's already there. So it's just like me doing it at this point.
I feel that. So you would say self-motivation. You got to have that drive.
Yeah. It's all about mindset. It's all about if you think you're the best, if you think you're him, you're him. And that's really it. Like, that's really it. With anything y'all do, like, I'm an international business major, so, like, I really like international studies and, like, learning how to, like, start business and stuff like that. But it's just like, even in the business world, if you think you're him, you're him.
Yeah,
if you don't think you're nothing, then
yeah,
you ain't never gonna be nothing.
I think that's where people get it twisted too. They just want to play, at the big stage, and kind of cut off that education on the way there. They think it's just, I got to be him in the athlete world, but in terms of education, they kind of skip that path. And do you think that's something that people get a misconception on, where you think it's like you have to be educated to perform well as well, or if you're gifted, you're gifted. You don't even need the education side of it.
Yeah, most people, I see a lot of people that be like, I'm just naturally gifted. I don't have to study or do nothing like that. But I'm already knowing knowledge is power. So if I'm can think 10 times faster than you and we're in the same game, it's over.
Yeah.
I'm beating you. I'm running laps around you because I'm overthinking you. I'm over practice me thinking. I'm practicing me overthinking you. And so thinking really beats everything. It's about somebody's mindset. Like, it's not about how big the fighter is. It's about his mind going into the fight. How many blows is he going to take?
No, I get that. I get that. And so with the education side of things, and you saying knowledge is key, how do you transition this over from high school to college? What would you say is the biggest difference from the high school side of things to the college side of things? What's the biggest difference?
Just definitely like expressing yourself in papers. In college, they gonna ask you to express yourself. You have way more open variety of like what to write about, and it's like a lot of more typing and writing compared to high school. It's like tests, multiple choice. So like college is way more diverse, and like whatever you choose to have your major in, you will really learn a lot about that. And it might be some things you didn't know that the U.S. didn't want you to know.
Yeah, no, I could agree, and a lot of people that get to go to college will talk about that as well. It's like you have more freedom. You get to be who you are, and I think that's why you meet some of the most influential people. Um, Speaking on influential people in college, do you think your teammates are like the close people to you, or have you met some people around, that are just regular students that have become someone close to you?
I hang with a lot of like I know a lot of the regular students that's just I look up to. I like their work ethic. I like their style of work because in the schoolhouse and like the school is way different from the football facility. So for somebody to have a work ethic in the schoolhouse is like really like that's really hard earned. That's really like good. So like I respect a lot of people just same way I'm an athlete because I feel like some of the kids that goes to school and do the best they could do, have the highest grades, they're damn near Olympians
Yeah, yeah,
in school. So like you gotta
no,
respect their grind.
not for sure. Um, so what does a day look like for you at in Oklahoma? A day in the life of a student, basically. What does it look like for you? How do you get your workouts in? What does that routine look like? Because it's a hell of a job, to be able to manage both. So what does that look like for you?
So I usually start my day up about 5:30. I eat 6 meals a day. So I start eating my first meal at 5:30. I do 2, 3 workouts a day. It's usually 2 on the weekends, 3 on the regular days. I work out 6 in the morning, and then I work out at 12, and I always work out at 4 o'clock every day. And 4 o'clock is like my yoga, my de-stress session. My 6 a.m. like my heavyweight room, and then my 12 o'clock I might be in the hot tub getting pool workout. I might be in the sand. I might be in the rice. I just don't know, but I gotta at least spend 6, 7 hours on my body every day because my body is my money maker. That's
Yeah.
my craft. So yeah.
And they say your body's like you know like a machine. Basically, you're fueling it. The moment you start taking days off, it's like you start to get a bit rusty. And would you say that's true to your body?
Man, I say it's so true. Like me going to college and me being in high school, I didn't notice the difference of how big food makes on a person. So like, if you eat the right type of food, your body would naturally grow in the way you want it to, and you would get muscles in places you want them to get. And if you don't eat, your body won't grow. So, man, just being here and seeing the difference between like how am I eating and what kind of protein, what kind of carbs I'm putting in my body, it's just like way different. And nutrition really probably one of the most biggest parts besides the weight room and the film room because nutrition really gonna get you there. As long as your body is filled every day and you putting new stuff in your body that you taking out,
Yeah,
you're gonna be good. Because you play before, so you understand like
exactly.
if you don't eat the day before, you're gonna feel way weaker than
Yeah.
the day you ate. So
Yeah, no, I remember a lot of, old coaches would say, make sure you're taking care of your body, days before the game. And it really doesn't hit until you start making those changes. You feel it in your body. You're performing. You feel good. There's no, you're not injury prone. So all those things I think are important. And for the younger athletes that are watching this, I think it's important that they, take care of their bodies and actually, take that advice because some of them don't take it. Some of them do take it. They run with it, and it makes a big impact on them. So taking care of your body. Why would you say you started doing that though? Was there a moment that hit you and you're like, man, I need to make a change?
yeah, man, most definitely. Like just me being from the Houston area, like growing up, my mom always like fed me and been my nutritionist. So like when you get to college and move on your own, it's just like you don't know what to eat, and it's like fast food might be the best option a lot of nights because
Yeah.
it's quick, but that's not the best thing to eat for your body. So like me knowing that, I just like I always try to like force myself to eat and force to have my meals on the side, and then whatever I eat on the side that is like extra.
And you think the difference, obviously being in Oklahoma, being a Sooner, can you tell the difference right away from the way that those athletes carry themselves in comparison to the high school athletes?
Yeah, most definitely. Like I came into the gym first day and it was like it was professional, man, and they treat their machine like they treat their body like a machine because it is, and so that's how everybody operate around there. You only get one body, so everybody's trying to max it out.
Yeah, yeah. And those guys push you every day?
Yeah, most of my teammates push me every day. Like even this morning, it's like 9 o'clock. I already had a Snapchat wake up, like workout check, like, and I didn't even hit the gym yet. So I guess it's Saturday though. So
Yeah, yeah. A little bit more lenient, but um, I guess now diving into, the big game, playing actually, being on the field, how do you carry yourself? What's your mentality on the field? What gets you through a game?
so basically, I my foundation is laid on the strip way. So the strip way is the foundation I basically created when I was at the Creek. It's mindset driven. So basically, when I go into the games, I really just try to show the world who his strip is and what my brand has to offer. And y'all coming this way is like what I do and how I do it and how I do my job at a high level. And I like people watching me do my job at a high level. So I take a lot of pride in that. I take a lot of pride in how I play. I take a lot of pride in how I run around and how I hit people because you only get to do this once. So
Yeah, yeah.
when people see me, I want to know like they know the strip way and this how it is and this how I'm coming. So that's why I play like that every game, and that's why some games like this year I had a rough year because I was injured, but I usually come in every game with like that mindset, like it's a strip way. You
Yeah.
might follow on Instagram after. So
Yeah, yeah. Now, I hear it all the time, right? The strip way, and I'm glad that you were able to build, that legacy, leave it at the creek, because a lot of people, look up to you. Do you ever have plans of with this, the strip way, to kind of expand this out into some sort of business now that you've, accomplished things in 4 years there in Oklahoma, as in, international studies? Do you ever have any future plans of saying, I'm gonna take this strip way and form, some kind of business? Not sure which business, but heading into that realm.
yeah, most definitely. Like I always seen my brand as like a massive like business, like almost like an Amazon, like a Dell type of business. So like I just don't know what I'm gonna take it into yet. Like I have a lot of ideas. I just don't know what I'm gonna take it into now, but I know I'm gonna take it into a whole different world, a whole different like universe, and it's gonna be the strip way. And it's
Yeah.
gonna be people like one day paying or joining or subscribing to that way. So like it's gonna be crazy.
No, that's fire, bro. That's fire that you have those ideas, because a lot of these athletes that are out there playing are just out there, to get paid, or try to get paid, and there's really no business mindset behind to anything else. Which I've heard a lot of, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and on a lot of these podcasts, what those famous people talk about is you have to have multiple sources, making you money. And so business is one of the big ones. And obviously, we have 44 Hype going on, but not just speaking on 44 Hype, but in general, business at the end of the day is going to generate revenue, at least that's what the goal is. And so the athletes that have stuff going on for them, on the side, I think my perspective on it is that it's very important that you have, multiple sources outside of football, soccer, whatever you're playing.
And most definitely, like I look at it like it's always best to have multiple sources of income, and like it's always best to have like money coming in from every way. But like everybody think of money like how fast can I get money? Like how can I get money off for somebody? Money is relational. People make money transactional, and when you make money transactional, it's hard for them to come back and keep spending time and giving you money. But when you make everything relational, man, it's like I'm pulling up on my friend and I don't even notice, like
Yeah,
whoop de whoop, or like I'm pulling up and his energy was so good, whoop de whoop. It's relational. Like
I feel that.
a lot of these relationships, like these days, be transactional and like everybody wanting it to happen so quick, and that's why I feel like our like age group is like kind of like turning like to the quicker times compared to like the older times. Like if it was all relational, like people take care of people, and we all be where we want to be one day.
I feel that. Um, what There's people out there, like you said, right? Relational. You have a lot of good relationships, I would assume, with your teammates, obviously, people that you met at the university, people from, the high school. But would you say there's people that you've ran into that, kind of don't match your mindset and you can't keep around you? Because now I feel like people get caught up with other people that they shouldn't be with. But oh, I've known that person for years back. I've known this person for years ago. I got to keep them around, and that's where people fail. So do you think keeping that right group around you and being able to accept the fact that I can't be surrounded by X and X. So what are your
Yeah,
thoughts on that?
most definitely. Like keeping the right people around me. I always keep people around me that I feel like can grow and I feel like I can learn from. I like to feel like I'm the dumbest one in the group. Like, as I say, like I like to feel like everybody around me I really can grow and learn from. So like keeping people around me that's smart and keep people around me that's going the right way. Like of course that's key. You got to keep your circle small.
Now that's a great way to take on it, and that's all respect to you, because some people don't view it like that. They view, oh, that's my homie. I've known him for years. We're gonna keep him around. But yeah, no, keeping a close group, keeping the right people around you, I think is definitely good for growth. Um, let's dive in a bit into the fashion, because I see you having essentials long sleeve on and the Supreme hat on. Obviously, you followed us on 44 Hype. So in terms of the fashion industry, you think you dress well, better than the average, or how would you perceive yourself?
I'll say like I'm high fashion. I say I dress way better than the average. I don't know. I might just have some shit on some days. Some day I might be chilling. So I be up and down.
Yeah. What are your favorite go-to brands?
I've been liking Rude lately. I've been getting a lot of Rude, Gallery Depth, Dior.
Supreme in the mix.
I fuck with Supreme. I snowboard a lot, so I be in the snow. I got a lot of like Supreme shit that's just like snowboarding cold. Like
Yeah.
I be buying a lot of crazy like cold Supreme stuff. Like I like Supreme though.
Yeah. No, if y'all don't know, tap in with his Instagram. You'll see a few of the flicks. I saw you had some Off-White on. Yeah, it was Supreme fit on. So that's why I wanted to dive into the fashion industry. Would you say that's a part of who you are, character?
Yeah, most definitely. Like I feel like I show my personality through my cold clothes. I feel like I really like get dressed and I don't have to say a word, and people could see exactly what I'm thinking, exactly how I'm feeling. And so like I really do feel like clothes is one of those things like in America, like everybody really show their personalities and get to be them through what they wear. And so like man, I love clothing, man. And it's like I see different people like wear different types of clothes all the time. And it's like man, I stop and be like, hey, where you get that? Or, like that's fresh, like just cause that's their style, and I like that. And everybody's different, so.
Yeah. What's the biggest difference from the Houston culture in terms of the fashion industry to Oklahoma? Do you see a big gap in terms of the fashion industry?
Yeah, most definitely. Like Houston got way more fashion, like just like way more fashion in period. But like Oklahoma, they be on the boots, they be on the Rick Owens, they be
Yeah.
on like it be snowing, so like they really be on some cold like we outside, my clear puffer. Like here it's hot, so like you just dress different when you out here.
No, I get that. I get that. Um, when you come down here to Houston, and obviously you're enjoying your time out here now, what do you try to do when you're out here? What does your day look like?
I probably eat at Los Tacos 3 times every day. Every day I was here, I eat the taco truck 3 times a day. Uh, Pretty much none, man. I be around the house, be chilling, working out, seeing my old trainers, like people that really helped me got to the place I was. Cause like thinking about the time I made Creek, bro, I used to work out like 4 o'clock in the morning before school. So like they had people that really made sacrifices for me. I just come back and just show my thanks and like just get back to the community, maybe help out a couple of kids that's training with him at the time, like
That's love.
just giving back like at the time, cause like knowing here at the Creek, like everybody ain't get the silver spoon, so it's like whatever I could do when I'm here, I kind of do the plug in.
That's love, bro. That's love. Mad respect for that. And when you're out here and you say, you're visiting these old trainers and you're going to the Creek, um, who would you say is one of your biggest mentors from the Creek that kind of helped guide you and kept your head in the game?
It's crazy though, cause I actually had a actual like mentor from May Creek. Her name was Miss Ann. She had 2 sons. One of her son played football for Hawaii, but I've been knowing this lady since like 3rd grade, and like she probably like one of my best mentors. Cause when she told me the mindset, and it's about how you get the message and not how they say it. Cause just what you was saying about people like with that message earlier, like people would tell you something, but it's just how they say it. Like
Yeah.
people only hear how people say something, they don't hear the message. So like for instance, if I yell at you and be like, "Whoop whoop, that Supreme shirt ugly," you'll be like, damn, my Supreme shirt ugly. If I like, that Supreme shirt really might not just be the one today. Like, it's a
Yeah,
way different. I said a way different, and you thinking way different.
with the wordplay.
You feel me? So it's all about the message. Like, it's all about the message. And the message will really control some people, and the message really helps some people, and the message really hurts some people. Like, some people hear a message like yelling or like, they're snapping at you and they like break down. Like, I gotta stop. Like, what's going on? But it's
Yeah,
like, with me, I feel like I mastered like hearing the message, no matter how it's coming. Like, I could be yelling at me, you piece of shit. Like,
yeah,
how it's coming, but it's just like, all right, that's what you said. All right, that's what I need to do. It's not like, like you really feel like that way about me, because like that's life.
yeah.
Like, that's actually life. Like, you get in a business job, and when you learn how to like really cope with the people around you, it'd be the best way to learn.
No, no, no. That's great to hear, especially because I think now with our generation, the people that are, you know, in our age, the people that are growing up in our age, I would say, and I'm gonna be straightforward. I think majority of them are becoming a little bit, how would you say is less of a thick skin. You say something and they take it the wrong way and they run with it and that's it, you know? And some of the older heads, like you could talk that deep with them and you could throw back and forth, hey, this and that, and you can go back and forth, but you're gonna learn something out of it. And so I think, some of our generation now is becoming a little bit, less of that thick skin. And could you agree with that?
Yeah, most definitely. Like, I learned, like, I used to like try to think like I knew everything for a minute, but it's just like when you really shut up and like listen, like you learn way more because you ain't saying nothing. So when you really just be quiet and listen to everything around you that's going on and really like grasp everything that's going on around you, it's like you learn way more. And so like I just start being quiet, listening. I start putting all my goals on my bathroom mirror, like forcing myself to look at it when I wake up. Like when I wake up, brush my teeth, like I gotta look at it. So if I really don't do this today, like I'm really cheating myself.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be back at that mirror later. So like I remember like looking at the mirror for like 6-7 months, telling myself I'm gonna get to 240. Like, and I was coming back every day 238. Like I was really cheating myself like only 2 pounds away, but like till I finally looked at the mirror, like I'm really gonna do that today, and it happened. So I just feel like you got to stay consistent. You got to stay on your mind, like, and don't let
Yeah.
people just knock you off the way.
And apart from that, you saying putting that on your mirror, putting your goals or what you want to accomplish, is there any other piece of advice that you carry yourself that you could give out to the youth or the people looking up to you, as an inspiration?
Man, whatever you thinking about, like whatever like idea, whatever like when it's time to brainstorm, people think it's all right to brainstorm without paper and pen, or like laptops and notes. Like, man, when you brainstorm, try to have the plan laid out. Like, if you write it down 1,000 times, I promise to God, it's gonna hit way more than you just saying I'm gonna do this, or like I'm gonna do it one time. Like, if you write down 1,000 times, so I gotta do this, so I gotta do X Y Z X Y Z, like it's gonna happen because you wrote it down, and you ain't gonna keep wasting time writing it down. So like,
Yeah, yeah.
all my plans and all my goals, like I write it down and I force myself to look at them and follow them. Because if I don't follow them, then who will?
Cheating yourself, basically. Yeah. And so obviously with all the success that you've had, the past few years, and I would say success alone is, you being able to do what you love, right? Being out on the field, enjoying it yourself. These successes, and they say it all the time, and I'm a firm believer in it, you got to struggle before you hit the successes. So what would you say are the biggest struggles that, came along your way, up to playing in Oklahoma, and even in Oklahoma, what would you say your biggest struggles that you've had to deal with that some people might not even know that, you're hitting them and you got to work to overcome those on your own?
Uh, Getting to Oklahoma, some of my biggest struggles, I would just say like coming out of May Creek. So like I came out of May Creek, number one defensive in Texas. I played on varsity my sophomore year, and it was hard because like sophomore year I didn't think nothing was gonna happen. I was a good player. I was young, but it was just like my school didn't have a history of having athletes that's good at football, so it was kind of hard. So, man, when I got to Oklahoma, it was just like I was so thankful for the opportunity of being there, man, and I really poured everything I had into it. But, like, once I got there, like, the same message I'm telling y'all, it's not about how you get the message, it's about how you receive it. And so that's one of my biggest things I had to learn. Like, I feel like once I learned that, it was like I could conquer anything, because, like, whoever come at me and say whoop-de-whoop, it's like, I already know it's just that. It's not that. It's just that.
Yeah.
But it's just, you can do it with everything. That's the craziest thing with me. Like, I took that from football, and I literally look at it from every which way now. Like, somebody come up to you with something like, how you saying it? Okay, that's what you said. All right. It's just that.
Yeah.
It's just like you living on a different level. You way ahead of them. Like, you not letting no emotions or nothing get tied in with your feelings or your work. Like, and that's all about, like, when you keep it, like, relational. You feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah. It sounds like you're a big competitor. Would you say you're a competitor all around in anything you do?
Yeah. Yeah.
You gonna win regardless?
Yeah. Like literally, like I'm a competitor. It's probably too much, bro. Like I'm too much of a competitor. Like I went gambling like just this week, and like
Yeah.
I was literally telling myself like I'm not a loser, so like I gotta win. Didn't want to leave, but I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. You feel me? So
That's a
like
dangerous game right there. That's a
I'm telling
dangerous
you,
game right
so
there.
yeah, man. I'm too much of a competitor.
Nah, that's great to hear, bro, and it's sick that you carry yourself all around. How would you say you bring yourself upon in a room? Are you more of an observer, or are you that kind that comes in the room loud, starts dapping everybody up, and you're just that loud person in the room? Or you more, you sit and you observe? Because I know you said that you like to kind of scan things and observe, different people that are around you.
Yeah, I'm more like I pull up to the room, you might not even know I'm there for a minute. Like I'm more of an observer, man. I'm sit back, lay down, quiet. Like I'm a chill type of guy, but like of course, like when I'm with friends and family, like I ain't seen in a minute, like it's a party. So like above best of
Yeah,
both worlds.
yeah. And that's also something good to have in life, being able to enjoy family and friends, because some people get caught up. That's something that me myself I've had to work on this year, because getting caught up in the business world, you're every day you're on go, you're on go, you're on go. It's just like a student athlete, you're on go all the time. So I think that was able to help me transition over to the business world, right? Like being, because we also had to wake up for weights, go get our training in, go to class, come out, go to team room, whatever the case might be. But I think it transitions over to the real world where you're on that grind nonstop. So I'm very thankful for that. And the biggest lesson I've had to learn this past year is you also got to make time for family and friends, which is big. Because when you're spending time with family and friends, it's like you're kind of letting your true self out with them, and you're letting your thoughts out with them. You're getting different perspectives from family and friends, which at the end of the day, it's good to take in different perspectives. So, are you heavy on the family and friends?
Yeah, most definitely. Like I talk to all my family. Like they usually call me out, answer the phone. Like family's everything. So like, just what you said, pick minds with each other, share minds. Like I love just talking to like different cousins and stuff and see what they got to say about stuff like that. And like I'm an international business major, so I like to know like what's next, what's about to happen in the U.S. Like so my cousins that's watching the news, who do calling about this and that. Like I love it. So
Yeah.
I'm about pretty much every conversation, man.
No, that's what's up. Um, Finishing up this year now in Oklahoma, um, do you feel like you've grown on a level where you're ready to kind of take things to the next level this 2023?
Yeah, man. I most definitely feel like I grow on a level like my body and everything's ready to be at the next level in 2023. I just want to make sure it's like the right decision and not trying to rush into nothing because it's a 4-year deal. And like most people, like when you get into the league, they just think it's like your first year. They're like, nah, you got to wait 4 years to get your second contract. So I'm just trying to make sure everything right, man. But I just keep working and growing, stacking days.
Is there any changes that you're making from last year to this year in terms of like personal growth and physical growth as well? On a mental level, on a physical level, is there anything you're making
My
in the change of?
my nutrition and I just been changing what I've been eating and like the type of food I've been eating. I've been upping it, upping my calorie count, upping the type of food I've been eating lately.
Yeah, yeah. Are you more of a you're trying to put on weight, or are you more of I just got to watch what I put into my body?
Put on weight. Watch what I put onto my body too, but put on good weight. Put on weight I can turn to muscle fast.
I get that. I get that. Um, in terms of you know football and inspiration, and what you could give back to the youth, is there any advice that you could give out right now, to the people that are watching this and say, hey, coming onto the bigger stage, there's something that you've took out from your teammates, obviously coming from different parts of the world. What is a big moment that you've had in college, and a memorable game where you're like, man, this right here hit home, and this is something that I'm gonna carry with me like forever? Was there ever a special moment that you had where you just kind of sat there and reflected, like, man, this is huge?
Yeah. Probably my sophomore year we played Justin Burrow. Not Justin.
Joe Burrow?
Yeah. I about to say Justin Burrows, and we played Justin Jefferson. And I was chasing Joe Burrow out the pocket, fell on my face, and man, I was fucking my bad, but my language.
Nah, you good, you good.
I was devastated, man. I literally sat on that field in Atlanta probably for 3 hours. I was a freshman in the game, sophomore year on the team. Coach had put me out there the first quarter. He was feeling me, and I would like when I first got to OU, like I used to just like I used to feel like I was him. I used to tell my coach I was him, and my coach used to be like, "All right, you him," and like that's what I'm telling you. Like I literally
Yeah.
just took it from my mindset, and so like man, when I fell on my face, he was right out that pocket. That kind of just woke me up, and that made me just go 10 times harder, and that made me realize when I'm really sleeping, somebody's really working,
Yeah.
and so like the tables never stops.
You don't find that crazy to see that, you're chasing Joe Burrow and now you see him like, going on to the, Super Bowl. Does that give you, some kind of hope and say, that's going to be me one day?
Yeah, most definitely. Like a bunch of these guys I've been playing against, it's like they at the next level. So it's like I don't look at that like, oh, I'm gonna be in there. Like I know, I gotta just handle what I gotta handle, and like it's gonna be there. It's just a game. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, this is a game. And like I was playing Georgia 2 years ago. It could be another year, and we playing for a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was just that crazy.
And obviously coming off the line, who would you say is the smartest quarterback that you've had to go against? Is Joe Burrow up there, or is there anyone that you could say, man, this guy right here, I can't read him?
Man, I played quarterbacks. That's a hard question. I played with Caleb Williams, the Heisman
Yeah.
Trophy winner this year. Played with Spencer Rattler. He a dog. Played with Jalen Hurts. He's a dog.
Yeah.
I played. Who else I played with? That's my only three. And I watched Baker play. I watched Kyler play. Quarterbacks. That's hard. That's a hard question, but most definitely, I would say the best mindset out of all them quarterbacks I've seen, like the best work ethic, like that kid Caleb.
Yeah.
Caleb came in as a young gun. He didn't care about what nobody thought, bro. Like, I remember first day Caleb got there, it was crazy because he painted his nails. We play football, and it's such a like a masculine male sport. So like we in the locker room, like, what's up? Like freshman pull up, nails painted, everybody like, whoa, like, and it was just like he didn't care. That was him. Like he didn't care. Like nobody was talking. Like he knew everybody would say something. He didn't care. And the whole time I'm telling you, like, I'm an observer. I'm sitting back watching. Like, damn, this kid must be different. This kid talking about something. He's from Washington D.C. Man, we get to practice. Spencer Rattler, our starting quarterback, and Caleb, the second string. Their balls was looking similar. So, man, we get to the Texas game. The kid just literally show us he's Superman. But just what I was telling you about his mindset, like. Caleb knew he was Superman day one on campus. Like, Caleb had a license plate on his car that said QB1. Like, QB1.
He was scared him something like that.
And he wasn't even QB1. Like, he had a license plate on first day. Like, he said QB1 on his car. He wasn't even QB1. We got to the Texas game. He became QB1. He carried himself like that.
That's a whole different level of confidence, bro.
He seen his vision. Like, and he didn't care nobody think, bro. He painted his nails just to express himself. And that's why I love him so much, man. That's like one of my bros. I told him, I just painted my nails. I painted my nails just recently. I painted one nails because he won Heisman. And I was like, man, that's crazy because you really came here, started the vibe, started the wave, and like, it caught. Like, nobody was messing with it at first, but like, that was you. And nobody could tell you nothing.
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's fresh. That's fire. So, man, Caleb probably one of the best quarterbacks I played with because all around person and quarterback, and he was just crazy.
Different.
Like, you ain't never know what you're going to get out of him. Like, you playing the game, like, we played in some games, Caleb is taking the ball from the running back, getting first downs.
Yeah.
Like, he's just crazy. Like, if I haven't watched him play, like, y'all got to watch him play. Like, he went crazy this year, too. Like,
what's the craziest game you've seen him perform where you're just, like, sitting there and all, damn, he's doing the impossible?
he's like baby Pat Mahomes, man. But when we played Texas, University of Texas,
Yeah.
and not Alamo, but the rival last year, he threw the ball to Marvin Mims. And first play in, fake, play action, play fake, took the ball down the sideline, 80-yard score. Second drive, 80-yard touchdown, Marvin Mims. And that became Caleb Williams.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was crazy.
That's a crazy experience to have, bro. And, playing at these big stages, the different stadiums, what would you say is one of the loudest stadiums you played at? Or one of the loudest games you've been in where you're just like, God, this is crazy. I'm here.
Shit. Baylor be shaking. I like Baylor. Baylor be rocking. And Red River rivalry. We play Texas every year in the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, State Fair every year, and it's like one of the biggest games in the world. It's half literally red and it's half orange. And I'm from Texas, so like, you know how it
You
is.
feel some type of way, yeah.
You know how it is coming in the state. It's like a lot of kids on my team from Texas. Like, we're Oklahoma boys, and like Texas, like I recruited y'all. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Man, if you playing for a little more of that game, and like that game every year is like a big game.
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest games every year.
Okay. What about the Cheez Bowl, right?
Yeah, Cheese Bowl, that was our bowl game this year.
How does that one go about?
Yeah, every year we're gonna have every year, not every year, but if your team good enough, you have like a winning record, you get a bowl game. So they send you to a bowl, so you play another team. So we just played Florida State this year. We unfortunately lost by like 3 points, but we pulled down to Orlando. We stayed out there for a week. Did some charity events with Florida State. Gave back to the community in Orlando. We played in the bowl game, the Cheez Bowl for them, and then we came back out here. But usually we go to like a New Year's Six bowl or a higher bowl, but it's just like we gotta have a better season.
Yeah, yeah. How was your experience out there when you were out in Orlando?
I liked Orlando. Orlando was fun. Definitely hanging with the kids and see all the kids around there. That was just like amazing me because they kind of like gave me a different perspective of life and like made me more grateful in some areas. So like Orlando, definitely I needed.
Yeah. What was the biggest thing that you took out of there when you were out there?
Biggest thing is probably like how everybody don't have it and how quick we are to waste and how quick we are to like say like we want to help people. Like I feel like America is quick to say like I don't want to see no more homeless. Like if I ask y'all right now who want to like raise your hand if you don't want to see no more homeless people, like a lot of us will raise our hand. But if I ask you raise your hand if you want to put a homeless apartment complex in front of your house,
Yeah.
who's gonna raise their hand? So that really showed me the way of America thinking and like, do we really want to help? Because if we really wanted to help, it'll be help.
Why would you say that though?
Because I was just saying, like, we was in Florida, we were seeing a lot of different people that needed the help that didn't want the help. So it's just like, people say, like, I want to help the homeless and do that. Like, then put them across the street from your house. You wake up and see them. Nobody wants that.
I get you.
Nobody wants that. So that's the way of picking American thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
So I literally was in Orlando the whole time just trying to figure out, like, what's actually what. Like, who's for the community, who want to make the community better. And so, man, but definitely, man, the guys at the Cheez Bowl did that. We pulled up, pulled out, went crazy every day.
What was one of the charity events that you did, or what did you guys carry on?
We went to a fun spot one day, man, and it was like a music park. We rode with a kid. We matched up with a Florida State kid. Florida State player, we rode with a kid all day. You got to do whatever you want to do the park.
That's sick.
So I know it was crazy for him. It was crazy for us. Like that.
Yeah.
Like, it was kid rides, but it was kind of like big enough. Like we was having fun. So like I know it was crazy for them.
Does it feel like a bit of an unreal moment when you're doing that kind of stuff? Because when you're younger and you talked about your sophomore year, right? You're like, oh, can I even do this? And I can imagine a few years before that, I don't even think you can imagine yourself saying, I'm going to be doing this. And when you're actually doing that, being in Orlando, taking care of that kid, did it hit you and say, man, this is unreal?
Yeah, most definitely, man. I cherish all that. I just look at it like you can't get those days back. Like some of them kids really be the light of the day, and then be so small to me, man. It can be so big to them. So I just try to give as much as I can.
Yeah, I like how you're great. You're able to be grateful, but you also have that mentality of I'm gonna win regardless, because it's a balance of things. And some people, they either go too far in terms of I'm him, but in a cocky sense where I'm him, I'm not listening to anyone else, or they're too nice, they're not competing. So would you say a balance is important?
Yeah, man, most definitely. Like just what you said, I think I'm him, but like I'm more of a listener than the talker. Like I'd rather listen to 1,000 people talk and learn off 1,000 people than me say one word, because whatever I got in my mind's already there, and I'm already thinking it, and I'm already knowing if it's like that's the decision I'm gonna make, that's the best decision I'll make. But the 1,000 people, they might say something oblivious. They might say something crazy that I needed. They might say something I might hear. So every message, man, everybody has a message. Everything's a message. It's just how you take it.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Could you tell the community right now, tell them, hey, carry yourself, as that individual where, you want to be a winner, you want to be him, but at the same time, it's like, don't, how would I say this? Just being straightforward, like don't be cocky about it, and be open to, other people's perception, because some people get caught up in I'm him, I'm doing it. They're not willing to take in advice. And, Chris, shout out Chris, the guy that helps me out with all this stuff, the podcast, the recording, the setup. Me and him have high-end conversations all the time. It's like being very open-minded, and some people take it the wrong way just because you don't want to conversate or you don't want to accept them. For us, it's like, if your mentality is different, right? If your mentality is not on a growth level and you're just on the past, on the past, on the past, we talk about that all the time where it's like, it's not that we don't want to be involved, but it's you can't grow with those kind of people. So we talk about it, and it all sometimes it gets misinterpreted where it's like, oh, he thinks he's a bit more than everyone else, but it's not that. It's you got to surround yourself with the right people, because the group of people we keep around, they could easily tell you, we're influential, we're wanting to grow, we throw ideas every day. So for the community, I think it's an important message to have them understand. It's not about being a cocky person and not being it yourself, but more of carrying yourself and then being able to listen to those people that you have around you, that close circle.
Yeah, like, man, just like a job, man. Like, I just feel like just what you said. Like, some people got to play their role. Like, even me being like an athlete, being high up, whoop, whoop, I got there as a freshman. I had to play my role. I couldn't come in, hey, coach, I'm no one defense in Texas. Like, that didn't matter.
Yeah.
I had to play my role. I had to show them. And so I feel like sometimes it's best not to even talk. It's best to show. Like, I like people that really pull up his show and don't even say nothing. And that'd be the people that really be like, okay, they got it.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is the biggest issue in terms of production, or that Made Creek could work on? And I'm touching on Made Creek because I think it's a big community in the area that the community here could take upon and kind of run with it, and that's why we're touching points on Made Creek. At the end of the day, this is the area that we came out of, and we're trying to help grow. We're trying to help influence. So with the kids that are out there, what do you think is the biggest factor that's kind of holding some of them back? Do you think it's on a mental level, or do you think it's the people they're getting surrounded by? Because at the end of the day, the production rate is not as high as, in comparison to a few of the other schools or a few of the other districts. But we are in Texas, big football state. So what do you think are some of those factors that are holding people back there, and what could they change to help that? And you lived it, so that's why,
Yeah, they got a bunch of boys at the creek right now. They've been playing good, and I just been telling you, got to keep your head down. And they're going to find you anywhere you at. Like, no matter what you're doing, if you're doing a good enough job, if you're doing a quality enough job, like, no matter what you're doing, you're going to get found wherever you at. Like, you could be on the corner there, they're going to find you. And so, like, I just tell them, like, man, keep your head down and work. And, like, if you think you're doing enough work, you're not. Do more work. And that's how I always was at the creek. Like, I remember, like, literally waking up my whole senior year, 4:30 every day, working out at 5. School don't start till 8, 7. So it's just like I had to, because I knew that's what I wanted. So, like, if you know what you want, man, you got to just go all in on it. And I just feel like all your goals really is right there. And it's just how much you're willing to put into it. If you give up now, you would never know how close it was. So, like, just keep going.
Staying persistent. From the creek, right, we're talking, you're talking about keeping your head down. What was a big moment for you that kind of sparked attention? Because you're saying keep your head down. If you're doing the right thing, eventually someone's going to find you. What was the first spark of attention that you caught in anyone's eyes?
I really feel like it was kind of crazy, bro. I remember this like yesterday. I felt like at my sophomore year, Nick Saban had came to the school, and the school was like closed down, like nobody could come to school. And like my teacher just started going crazy. Like my teacher's like, Marcus, like Nick Saban's here to see you. And I ain't never been like, I like Alabama football, but I ain't never been like crazy like Alabama like Nick Saban. So like I was just like, all right, that's cool. And I pull up to coach office. It's just nigga like, I'm seeing my coaches taking pictures with Saban, and it was like my coach was excited. He was there like excited, like in the room with a celebrity. So man, having that feeling like, man, I feel like I had the president of the United States come to May Creek and like really come recruit me to be on his team. And so man, that was the crazy moment. And when I seen that, it was just like, man, I went hard.
Made you believe?
Yeah, I went hard. Like, I went so hard, went way harder.
Did you know he was gonna go to the school?
Nah, I didn't know, man. I was seeing a lot of coaches at the time, and he had just randomly pulled up. And he had came to Katy, and this is a big football like state.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you probably seen some other kids, but it was just like, that was Nick Saban. It was like everybody at May Creek ain't never seen nothing, and like nobody like that. So it's like crazy. Like, and I had met Nick Saban before too, because I went to a camp in Bama, but it was just like him being there. It was crazy.
Did you actually have a conversation with him when you were out at the camp or even at the creek?
Yeah, I had plenty of conversations with Saban, a bunch of other coaches, like just chopping it up. I got an opportunity going there. I just didn't. I thought Oklahoma would fit better. So
Yeah. And you had those, obviously, you had multiple offers. What did you kind of narrow it down to? And then what ultimately made you, choose Oklahoma?
man, I just felt the family atmosphere of Oklahoma. Like everybody I really played with in the last 3 years, like I could really say they're my brothers. Like even if they're on my team, they playing in the league right now, like we can still call each other. We really got a brotherhood, a real bond. So man, being a part of that, coming from Egg Creek, it was just like, yeah, I want to be a part of a brotherhood, and that's really showed me the way of winning.
Yeah.
And that's all winning is. Winning is a brotherhood. Like winning is about the group that hang out the most.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 4 people, 5 people, like if y'all 5 people hang out all day, every day, like y'all bound to win.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna win because y'all gonna know exactly his weaknesses or his strengths, or his weaknesses or his strengths. And everybody don't have to have the same weaknesses and strengths. Everybody got to be corresponding. Everybody got to work together, and that's what it's about.
Yeah. Being a team sport, you talking about, brotherhood. Would you say that, amongst the team, the bigger moments of success that you guys had, or, the bigger wins came from that, that brotherhood?
Most definitely. Like no coach can dial up or like draw a play. Like it was just literally me looking at my brother like I'm gonna take one for him because I know he got me. Or, like them summers, like them sprints in the summer, like when we throwing up on a 15-1 and it's 100 yards and it's 102 degrees outside and my body really feel like hey and go. Like my brother looking at me like I got you, bro. Let's go. Like stand up. Let's like that's the kind of moments like you really like. All right, I'm pushing through for this. I'm pushing through for that. And, like I always play for like family. Like I always think like, dang, my mama. All right, let's go. Like, and it's just that quick. And so I feel like when people like snap in and play not for themselves, it's easier to do it.
Yeah. What's the mentality that you have? You're talking about these workouts where you're throwing up in the summer. That's where people give up. But what's your mindset whenever you're in the middle of these workouts? Like, what's really driving you? Because you said your mom, but what's pushing through the back of your head? Like, man, I got to get the job done.
Man, I work out hard. I run hard. The only thing I really ever be thinking about, everybody asks me, like, I'm one of the persons that work out, like, Coach say we got 20 hundreds. I'm going to try to finish the first 15 to, like, I'm going to try to pass out by the 15-1. I'm not going to try to make it to 21. I'm going to run all 15 full speed. Like, and they don't think I'm going hard, but, like, they don't care. Like, all my friends used to tell me, like, Strip, you going too hard. Like, chill. Like, I really see workout and all that, like, it's maximizing your body. So, like, I really don't, like, I don't know what really made me get like this with the workout, but like I feel like I could just push through every workout I have just to be the best, and like you got to do that.
Push your past your limits.
And then your body's naturally gonna do what you want it to do. So if you tell your body you're tired, you're tired.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Mindset, like you be beat before the workout. Some people get outside, like it's hot outside, like you already beat.
Yeah. That's like a negative mentality to have, and I'm big upon flipping a negative and putting it into a positive. Do you think that that's something big to have, as a resource?
That's everything. Yeah, that's everything. Negatives are positives. Like I don't have no negatives. I tell you that right now. Like I take a loss, it's not a loss. It's a learning opportunity.
Yeah.
So like you really don't get no negatives. Like I don't get no negatives. Like all I get is positives. Because as long as I'm learning and growing, I'm winning.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's how you gotta look at it.
Is there any motto that you live by? I know you said the wordplay where it's like if you're able to take in, certain words and flip them around to where, they benefit you, or just not, digging into the, the negativity of it. Is there any mottos that you live by? Or you just kind of take in everything?
I really live by that one motto I said, how you receive the message. It's not how the message is given.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the number one thing. Like, I feel like that's the number one thing, especially with this community and, like, everybody being so high-headed, like, I'm him.
Yeah.
Like, nah, like, it's not how they giving you the message. It's the message. Like somebody might say something, this and that. Like it's just the message, and that's why I feel like a lot of our younger generation is like soft skin, just what you said.
Yeah.
And like that's not gonna get you nowhere far.
I get you. Well, we're kind of gonna get towards the the wrap up of this episode right now, and I guess before we leave, is there anything that you could give back to anyone watching this? Maybe it's your brothers watching this, family watching this, the younger people watching this. Is there anything that you could leave upon?
I just say don't give up, man. Whatever y'all want to do, just keep trying to do it. And like most definitely, I'm a resource. Like anybody that know me, anybody that has me on Whoop the Whoop, y'all reach out. Like I'll do what I could do to help out, make stuff happen. But like, just let me know if you have any ideas on building a creek or like growing the creek. Like this is all workable. So like just let me know, man. I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't changing up.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you, bro. Definitely making the time to come out here. Right, you're out in Houston, like I said. You're trying to enjoy your time out here. You said you're chilling, so for real, I appreciate you being out here. You know, taking the time to hop on the podcast. We're more than honored to have you out here. You're a big role model, right? This is the reason why I reached out. You know, you could influence on a high level. So, thank you for again taking the time, and we wish you the best of success with your future goals. And I don't even doubt it, bro. Like, I don't even doubt it. We're going to see you on the big stage with your mentality, right? There's no stopping it. And I'm a firm believer that if you keep that mentality, you get to where you want. So really appreciate you for coming out, bro. And
no problem.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Success.